Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya, Same or Cimnanya. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video that I saw, and I thought I would definitely bring in this here because this is really very important. Number one is that why is it that they made it look like anything that got to do with me or people that look like me is not good enough, but anything that got to do with this is the most perfect thing on earth. I don't know who gave them that mindset, but that is how it is. And this lady actually went ahead to explain how, like, where she works, that when people comes into the place and the only person they want to talk to is someone that look like this because they are always in fear of their lives. Heaven knows how. Then we are also going to talk about how everything, their mission was to keep black people down. To make us not to rise, to make black people not to grow, to make them just to remain stagnant. But the truth is that black people overcame all that. You can imagine somebody working against you, and then they are watching you grow, and they are also wondering, how did she do that? How did she overcome all this? It's something that they've been finding so hard to comprehend, but there are some things you cannot comprehend with the mass incarceration, like a lot of things. But one thing that I know for sure that we are after, because they are kind of scared that we are going to do them the same thing they did to us. We are only after the system that is oppressing us. Let's get into this video.
We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree, kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals or equal Americans as us white men. And to my black brothers and sisters, the racial issues, as I've said, have been there from the very foundation. But why do we see it more? Because there's a shifting. See, us white men have been at the head since the foundation. But we've had a black president. And we've done everything in our power to keep him from really changing things. Now we have another minority rising to the top, a white female. What does that say? Those of us who are white men who have been at the head are now starting to see and fear that we are going to become the tail. And we know what we've done to you. And so now we're fearful that you're going to do to us what we have done to you. But I will say this. I've lived in a black community for 23 years. I've never been treated the way that this country has treated my black Americans. So I call out my white Americans to say we better heed, repent, acknowledge, and change. Because if we don't, I just want to again say this. The bloodshed that we...
It's very clear that when white people approach or engage with us, I am the one they feel comfortable talking to. I am the one that they want to take the order from. I am the one that they bring the bill to. I am the one that is deemed non-threatening. I am the one that is never loitering. I am the one that could never be doing anything wrong. And I feel like for the darker women in my family, that's extremely painful. shared highlights a pervasive issue rooted in systemic racism and implicit biases that disproportionately affects darker-skinned individuals within communities of color, including within the BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, People of Color community itself. Here are the key factors at play in this situation that contribute to its racist and problematic nature. 1. Colorism. This is the practice of discrimination wherein those with lighter skin are privileged over those with darker skin. It is a legacy of colonialism and slavery, where lighter skin was often associated with closer ties to the white oppressors, either through mixed ancestry or perceived social proximity, and thus granted a higher status. 2. Implicit bias. Implicit biases are unconscious associations and attitudes towards different races that affect our understanding, actions, and decisions. In this scenario, the preference to interact with the lighter-skinned individual over the darker-skinned women in the family demonstrates an implicit bias that associates lighter skin with positive attributes like trustworthiness, competence, and approachability. 3. Stereotyping and racial profiling. The assumption that darker-skinned individuals are more likely to be loitering or doing something wrong is based on harmful stereotypes that criminalize Blackness and darker skin. These stereotypes are deeply ingrained in society's psyche due to historical and ongoing racial profiling and media portrayal of dark-skinned individuals as more likely to be criminals. 4. White supremacy and racial hierarchies. At the root of these biases and practices is the structure of white supremacy, which establishes and maintains white as superior and Black and dark skin as inferior. This hierarchy is reinforced daily through systemic inequalities, media representation, and personal interactions. 5. Social and psychological impact. The pain and internalized racism that result from these interactions are profound. They not only affect the individual's self-esteem and mental health, but also reinforce divisive notions within communities of color, undermining solidarity and collective identity. 6. Invisibility and erasure. The lack of acknowledgement of these issues contributes to the invisibility and erasure of the experiences of darker-skinned individuals, making it difficult to address and combat the racism and colorism they face. In confronting these realities, it's crucial to acknowledge the systemic roots of these biases and actively work against them through education, reflection, and changing societal norms. This requires a commitment to challenging our own biases, engaging in conversations about racism and colorism, and advocating for systemic change to dismantle the structures that uphold racial hierarchies.
So this is all I got from this, and why are they even scared? That is number one. Why are they scared that who is going to do what they did to us? Like, we care. But you already better be scared. I'm saying, why are they scared? Like, you all better be scared. You know? I love the fact that some of them are coming out to, like, not like Black people have not been saying all of this, you know. They've been saying it, but I love it when some of them come out to say some certain things to themselves, talk sense into themselves, because it looks like they hear themselves better than they hear to us, you know? You know, they are kind of still in shock how are Black people, how were they able to, like, you know, get over from, like, or like, you know, to free themselves from the system that has really, like, caged them and kept them down from, like, you know, progressing and all that. They are mad and they are still looking for a way to, like, find out how you all did it. But they did it. You all did it, and still moving forward to this, because that system was actually made to destroy, right? And you all overcome that. They use prison, they use jail, incarceration, a lot of things. There is no tactics that they did not use. Even it was after the slavery, actually, when the slaves left plantation, how they enacted Jim Crow again, just to tell you how these people, they now brought Jim Crow to, like, you know, bring people back to this, to plantation to work. That was also the same time they also enacted Viagra law, you know, When they see you walking around the road on the road and all that, and you look like me, that is the end of it. They are taking you back to where you are coming from to continue. It is amazing how you people said slavery has ended. You release them. Okay, people that you said slavery has ended, were they supposed to stay back in their houses and eat grass? Right? They were supposed to actually go out to look for work, to look for something to help their family. But when they see them outside going to look for work, they take them back again. Hell no. Some people do not mean well. And that is some period. They take them back. Right? Take them back to where they are coming from to start from square one. That really shows how horrible some people are. And then I don't think black people are like, the only thing we are like, after right away is to, you all already know that minority that they are very scared of, that is something that they are running away from so much. But I don't want to go there. The only thing we are working so hard is that so that they dismantle that system that has been working against people that look like me. That is just the only thing we are after. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.